I'm Sean Smith, and we're here for this week's Regals Rundown with Dan Weisse, the head men's basketball coach for the Golden Eagles. Dan, coming off a little bit of a tough weekend last week on the road against Duluth and St. Cloud. The Duluth game, you guys were right in it up until, that final whistle, but just kind of in the story of the year, just little plays. But then St. Cloud, first half not so bad, you're right in it. Single digits going into the break, but second half they kind of take over. Not able to overcome some things there. Just talk about the weekend and what you really have to work on going into, some big home games this weekend against Wayne State on Friday, and then the top 5 team in Augustana on Saturday.
Well, from last weekend, I think we played a game and a half of pretty good basketball. It was the last 2 minutes of the first half St. Cloud game where we gave up 2 offensive rebounds and I think a 7-0 run to end the half. You get back to the Duluth game on the Friday, I thought our guys competed. I think we had it within 1 possession with 3 minutes left and just couldn't get over the hump there. And Duluth does a nice job, but it was fun to see our guys fighting and competing. And against St. Cloud, just, this is the first time around in our league with some of these guys. I think it was a 1-point game with 2 minutes left in the first half, and the wheels started coming off, and then they basically fell off in the second half. And we just gotta, that's a learning process. Give St. Cloud credit, give Duluth credit. But I like our group. I like what I see so far coming into this weekend.
You've kind of touched on it a bit, but it is a young group. Just where have you seen the biggest growth so far, especially with that freshman group that hasn't, they've never played collegiate basketball, let alone Division II basketball?
Well, right, and part of it's just you have to go through the experience of the games to understand. A lot of these guys are real familiar with our league, but they never actually played in the game and understand how fast these guys actually move when you're 2 feet away from them, or how strong some of these players are. And it's a great league. Our guys, we're right there, but we have to also go through the growing pains at times. I would say inconsistency for us has been a factor, but I also see a lot of progress. Sometimes the ball sticks in our offense, which we're working on, trying to keep sure the ball's moving, or we have guys cutting so no one's staring at the ball. And again, that's a growth process thing. That's something we got to just keep playing, get more experience, and But again, Sean, from day one to where we're at, if we keep seeing progress, good things will happen.
You've got one senior in Derek Red Jr., fifth-year senior, been around this program, been with you now for almost a year and a half. Having a pretty strong year overall, averaging right around, I think, 14 points a game. Obviously, everyone needs to improve and need to see a little bit more from everyone, but what has DJ really provided you just with that guy that has seen this conference and knows what to expect on a day-to-day basis?
Well, like on the day-to-day basis, he leads our stretching every day. He leads a lot of our drills. He's the guy everyone kind of goes to because he's been around with our staff, like you said, the longest. So early on, it was a big factor for us. And it's, he's a good person. And he's a good guy to have. If you're going to have a senior, Derek Red's a good one to have. So all these freshmen or young guys looking up to him, he's going to be doing the right things.
How much does it help that he, stayed this summer, worked on a lot of things, including, his shooting, which you've really been able to see just how much he's improved. He went from pretty much not a threat at all from three-point shooting to, one of your best three-point shooters right now.
Well, that was a decision DJ made. Now we would encourage our guys to stay. We don't require them to, but we certainly encourage them. And DJ would tell you if he was in here, that was the best decision he's made. The weight room stuff in the summer, the shots up, and it's the stuff you do when no one's in the gym watching that he did. And he's a great example to our younger guys. So if we can get that kind of commitment from our younger players in the off season, the work ethic during the season, again, I think we have those guys. But DJ has been a great example.
Now, what can you expect from Wayne and Augie this weekend? I know Wayne State's kind of a program that's in a similar spot with some youth, and but they've also got a little bit of experience too. But then Saturday is a little different story. You've got one of the most experienced teams in the conference, if not the country, and the top 5 in the nation, and probably going to be a contender for at least the Elite Eight, Final Four type team.
I think they absolutely are. You got to get a little lucky at the tournament time. This is a very good team in Augustana, but to get to Wayne, we're very similar programs as far as they kind of did what we did with a lot of younger guys in their program last year. They're probably a year ahead of where we were, but it's the same type of blueprint. We're probably the two youngest teams in the league going at it on Friday, and they're going to do what they do. We're going to do what we do, and we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to it. I'm sure they are too. It should be a great game on Friday. And Saturday, I tell you, it's a great opportunity for our players. Each game we play is a great opportunity. Augustana's got fantastic players. I think they had 6 of their top guys back from last year. It's a team. They got very good players. They got very good coaches. Very good program. They represent the league very well. We're looking forward to both challenges this weekend. Just like, hey, that's what the league is. So you couldn't ask for anything more.
Well, thanks for joining me, Coach, and we'll watch you this weekend, and hopefully you can come out with a couple wins.